Morning guys. Well, it's mid-morning, in fact it's late morning for me. Monday 23rd of November, sort of 11ish. Brought out a bit later because I'm doing a course over the next couple of days, so just thought it means that she's got less time to have to be mooching around by herself a little bit before she gets the next walk. I know they said it was going to get colder in the week, but I have to say it's colder than what I thought it was going to be. Actually, I mean, a real, like a biting cold that makes you go, "Ooh, that's a bit nippy." I was sort of thinking as well about I'd shared on my live yesterday about standing your ground and what that meant in relation to courage, and at one point I'd begun to link it to boundaries and being clear about your boundaries, and then that come into my head again, thinking about preparing for course, delivering mental health awareness, and just got me thinking really about because I know I'm quite clear, or I like to be. Let's say, I try and be as clear as I can about what my boundaries are and what's okay, what's not, where to draw the line. And I think that when you're preparing for a course, that any course or group process that has the potential to have people that maybe a bit unsure about things, they might challenge boundaries themselves. They may not always be looking after their own mental well-being. They perhaps may be a bit unsure at times about what, if they can question things or not, and so on. I think it's even more important for me that not only the boundaries about what's acceptable, what isn't, but also the time sort of put in to prepare, mentally as well as resources for the course. I think it's really important, because I think when I'm more prepared and I'm clearer, that also means that then I can hold that space more clearly and more strongly for others, and I think it's really important to be able to do that. Whereas I think if my prep and my thought process and my boundaries aren't as clear as focused, then it don't take much, for a few wobbles, a few challenges, perhaps a little bit of emotional sort of angst or upset from an individual or a couple of people, and it can really, it can shake things a little bit. It can also shake the ground, so to speak, to come back to being grounded. Well, shake the ground a bit on what you're trying to do and how you're trying to create the right safe space for people to be able to look at themselves and be honest, and there are times where, of course, part of that process is people have been able to challenge and question and push for themselves, and maybe pushing against me, other learners, some of the rules. But as I said, it's getting a balance as well with that, allowing that space and the movement and the flexibility, but at the same time people also knowing that they feel held and that they're feeling safe enough to be able to question or challenge and just be able to learn and feel good in that space. So that's what was sort of striking me. Getting that balance between the the firm, safe boundaries and space, so that then people have room and flexibility to be able to move and shift and flex and push in that space a little bit as well. And it's a constant, it's a paradox, ironically, but I also think it's a constant sort of a constant moving space as well. It needs to be, to enable that movement, both a bit more safety, a bit more being held, and then a little less, and then more and less, and wherever it is, that in between movement as well. And I think it takes skill and discipline and intuition, and I think it's a fine art that you can sort of develop that over time. But again, to be able to do that comes back to, for me, you need to know your stuff. You need to be fairly, you need to be on the ball. You need to be fairly prepared. You need to have as much clarity as you can around some of the areas that you're looking at, you're exploring, so on. So yeah. And to be fair, I mean, those, if you like, the boundaries, your ground rules, your limits, and how much you allow them to expand, to restrict, to constrict, that applies to any area of your life. I'm talking here, thinking particularly about, different groups and courses. But the things I'm talking about and I'm sharing are absolutely applicable in any given situation with any individual. Whether that be in a relationship, an individual one-to-one, whether that be with your children, work colleagues. It's all appropriate and it's all transferable. So yeah, I think it's important to constantly review it as well. So what are my boundaries? Where are my limits? Where is the boundary almost empowering and enabling, and where may it be restricting and need adapting or changing a little bit? So food for thought. So have the rest of a moochy, mongly, meandering Monday, and I'll speak to you later, guys. Take care, bye.